Hey there, Fletcher from All Things Overlanding here, and today I'm going to be talking about the CRPro30 30-liter portable refrigerator from BougeRV. If you are looking for a good size but not too big refrigerator that has multiple power options, either a corded 12-volt connection or a battery that can power this thing, this could be a good option for you if you're looking for something to take on your camping or overlanding trips. So if you want to hear about all the features of this thing, see everything in action, stay tuned to learn more about the BougeRV CRPro30.
Understand where it came from, but you got it, my got it. It began in the land of the sandstorm. I fought it, though I wanted everything to do with what you give to me. Loosening my grip.
All right, guys, so as you can see, this is the BougeRV CRPro30. Now, this thing is really cool. I like the footprint of it. I like the fact that it doesn't have handles that stick out a ton on the side. I like that it doesn't have wheels because I always like to hard mount my refrigerators. But this is a great option for folks that have some space restraints. So, you know, something like this could be a good option. BougeRV has fridges in a variety of ranges, so it just really depends on your use case. Click through the link in the description below to look at all their different fridges and use my coupon code to save yourself some money if you end up picking one up. But so this CRPro30 is really cool because, again, you've got strap-down points on the side here. You've got a bottle opener, which is neat. So if you wanted to open a bottle, boom, right there on the side, you've got that. Again, strap points here. So you could attach this in the back of an SUV or in the bed of your truck. The handles are kind of built into the side, and they're nice and flat in there. So they're really contoured and really easy to pick up the fridge. Now, the fridge is actually really light, and I'll throw the weight up on the screen here. I'll also throw the dimensions up, so how long it is, how deep it is, and then how tall it is. So if you're trying to fit this into an SUV, that'll be good info for you to have as well. Now, as far as form factor and things like that go, it has four different size cup holders up here. So you could put, you know, salt and pepper, you could put drinks, things like that. And it's just going to keep it from sliding off the top. Then you've got this other area over here where you could set food or things like that. If you're, you know, working on hamburgers or something like that, you could set it up on top of here. It's not going to slide around, which is nice. So now when fridges get shipped, if you've never bought a refrigerator online before, when they come to your house, sometimes they get tilted the wrong way or whatever. So sometimes I've heard people say, hey, I plugged in my fridge and it didn't get cold. You want to let it sit for 12 to 24 hours like this, the right direction, right? Now, this thing will allow tilt up to 30 degrees, so it is good for off-roading, camping, a tilting fridge slide, that kind of thing. It's good for that, but you never know. This actually came delivered to me literally upside down. Like, it said fragile and it said this side up, and the FedEx guy left it on my porch the totally wrong direction, upside down. So let it sit for 12 to 24 hours just to let that coolant sort of settle out, and then you shouldn't have any problems operating it. To turn this thing on, you just tap the power button. It's going to show you the temperature that it is inside of it right now, because I have not turned this on yet today. So it is 79 degrees. This voltage over here is your battery protection. So if you hit the setting button, you're going to see over here it has max, which is how fast it will cool, or it has eco, which is, you know, going to take less power, but it's going to take longer to get cold. So if you're not in a hurry, you can use eco mode. Then if you want to adjust the temperature, you can just tap either the plus or the minus button, and you can turn it to your desired temperature. If you tap and hold the settings button, that's going to make the H flash over here. If you hit settings again, it's going to go from H to L. If you hit it again, it's going to go to medium, and then it's going to go to high. That is your battery protection. So you can go low, medium, or high. So yeah, if you set it too high, it's going to reserve more power in your battery and turn off earlier. It'd rather your food go bad than you not be able to leave because your battery is dead. If you're hooking up to like a power bank like I'm doing, and you don't really care if it takes it lower, then you could hold this for a second until the H starts flashing, and then you could tap it again to turn it to low, because I don't care if it takes this battery all the way down, right? It doesn't really matter to me. So now I've got it set to low, and I've got it on eco mode, and as you can see, it's pulling about 35 watts. So I've got it turned to max right now, and even on max, it is pulling a little over 30 watts. So they say that it usually pulls about 35 to 40 watts, somewhere in that ballpark, and that seems to be pretty accurate. You can see it jumping up a little bit to 36. Obviously, it's really well insulated, and then once it reaches that temp, it's going to shut itself off. That's basically how all these fridges work, where right now it's 79, and it's trying to cool down to 35, I think I've got it set to. So going to the inside here, you've got this little chain that holds it so this thing doesn't slam backwards. So this is a 30-liter fridge. Now it does have a removable center section here, so you can remove this to give yourself a little bit more room, or if you want to have the ability to sort of separate stuff, then you could put the divider in there and have two separate areas. So this is not a dual zone, this is a single zone. So everything in here is going to be whatever temperature you set it to. Now it does have the built-in LED light, which is really nice. It's got a nice quality seal up here, and then this lip is going to go inside of there. Now this doesn't have like a clamp style, so just something to be aware of. If you're on really super rocky, rough trails, this may not be the best option for you because this thing could pop open. There is sort of some suction that happens with the cold air in there and stuff too, and it is a pretty good weight lid, so it's not going to just pop around. It shouldn't be opening a ton, but it does not have like a latching mechanism on it, so just FYI. So now one of the really cool things about this fridge is this little compartment right here. This is actually a spot for one of their proprietary batteries. Now I have another one of their fridge, and I'll put a card up here in the top right corner to show you that fridge that runs dedicated off two of these batteries, but they've standardized their batteries to make it really easy to use with their stuff. And then the other cool thing is not only do you get an AC plug and a long DC plug that you can use to power this, so you could, hardwire it into your vehicle or plug it into a cigarette lighter and run it just off the normal 12 volt, or they include this short little guy here that basically will go through the back here. This will run out the back and you'll plug it in down there where the DC plugs in, and then you could run this thing off of one of their battery banks. Now the 220 that I mentioned for the fridge does not include the battery. I think they're like $100 or something like that. So just something to be aware of if you wanted to buy a couple so that you could swap them out and run this thing for a longer period of time. That is an option. Or you could buy one and just sort of run it off the battery until it dies, and you have a bunch of different options. So, but you could bypass this altogether. You could use this as storage. You could keep your cords in here and stuff like that. If you don't keep this in your car all the time, let's say you have an SUV and you just put this in when you go camping. If it was me, I would keep this DC plug in this spot right here, just so that I don't forget it and I don't lose it. But again, if you wanted to power it off one of their batteries, you can totally do that. Now, this thing runs really, really quiet. They say that it's under 45 decibels, but the compressor is running right now. And I mean, I got to shut up for myself to even hear it. It's so quiet. So you're not going to get a ton of noise out of it. You're going to have, relatively low power consumption, which is great. And again, if that 30-liter size is good for you, then this is a nice little fridge to keep, maybe drinks cold on this side and then like cold meat, condiments, that sort of thing on this side. You have options. All right, guys, so as you saw, this is the BougeRV CRPro30. This thing has a good amount of capacity. If you don't have a huge family or want to take a ton of drinks with you, this thing would be perfect for like a solo overlander or solo camper that just wants to bring some lunch meat, some condiments, maybe a few drinks, bottles of water, that kind of thing. This thing would be great for that. And for about $220, it's a pretty cheap fridge. Now, I'll put a link in the description down below to this fridge, as well as a coupon code that'll save you some money. But if you're looking for something like this, I hope that this video was helpful and gave you all the info you needed to be able to make the decision about whether this is right for you. So also below this video is a join button. That's just kind of a passive way to support the channel, and it also gets you early access to the video plus some other perks. Now, if you want to be more involved with all things overlanding, get access to all the content and also a 24/7 Discord, there's also a link to my Patreon page. So any paid Patreon member gets access to our 24/7 Discord, and we also do a once-a-month Zoom call, and we're getting together once or twice a year to go camping. So we recently went to Kentucky, had some really crazy weather. It was a ton of fun. We had to chop through a bunch of trees to get out, but it was a great team building experience and we had a lot of fun. So if that sounds good, check out the Patreon. Also in the description is a link to my website where I've got funny overlanding camping themed patches and stickers. Things like "Don't burn your wiener" and "It's a hot dog," or "I hate people so I camp." So definitely check that out. Also all things overlanding stickers and patches. So if you're into that stuff, if you want to decorate your rig or your fridge or your backpack, check out those Velcro backed patches and stickers through that link down below. Then last but not least, there's a link to the Newbie Overlanders Facebook group. Now, this group's totally free to join. If you're newer to overlanding, want to kind of learn more and not be bullied, this would be a good place to get started, and we'd love to have you in that group as well. Now, of course, if you got value out of the video, hit that like button. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure to click that subscribe button and click the bell to be notified when new videos drop. I do 2 or 3 videos a week, so I put out a ton of content, usually stuff like this, talking about gear, general overlanding stuff, tips and tricks. I do a podcast every couple of weeks, so there's tons of content here for you if you are into the outdoors or overlanding or do-it-yourself modifications and budget-minded stuff. And I'd love to have you as a subscriber, so definitely click that button. But again, thanks for watching. Hope that was helpful, and we'll see you next time.